Hello friends, welcome back to the Dork side. I'm the Dork on the road, and as you can see, I'm finishing my final preparations and getting ready to pack up my bike for my Washington BDR Backcountry Discovery Route trip, and the time has come to reveal to you which motorcycle I'm taking. I'm the Dork in the road, and I want to be your internet riding buddy, so please consider subscribing. As you may know, I recently acquired two mid-size adventure bikes, a 2022 Yamaha Tenere 700 and a 2022 Husqvarna Norden 901. I had the Husky pre-ordered, the Tenere kind of fell into my lap. It was not my intention to buy both at the same time, but it just sort of worked out that way, so I jumped on the opportunity to make some comparison content, and really my plan was to pit these two bikes against each other in a competition, the winner of which will be the bike that I take on this Washington BDR trip that I'm taking right now, mid-July in 2022. So I've put 1,000 miles on both bikes. I've ridden them extensively on and off the road. I've taken each of them to different events. There's all kinds of videos, so I have a whole Choose Your Own Adventure Bike series that you can check out for all the riding I've done on both bikes. I hope that you'll do that. But the time has come to make a decision about which bike I'm taking on the Washington BDR and why I chose that motorcycle. If you just came to hear the decision, here it is. The motorcycle that I'll be taking on the Washington BDR is the Husqvarna Norden 901. That should surprise many of you who have known me for a long time or have followed me for a long time, because I have always been a die-hard Japanese motorcycle fanboy. The reliability and low cost of maintenance and low cost of ownership have always appealed to me. And I have, honestly, in the past, been a bit of a KTM hater. I would go as far as to say hater. I've definitely said some things about KTMs, some of which I think were fueled by misconceptions that are kind of out there, and some of which are true. But in the process of riding these two bikes for 1,000 miles each, first, let me say that they are insanely close together. Like, both of these bikes are so amazing. Both of these bikes would be fantastic on this trip. And they're so close together and so good all around that this decision really comes down to super nitpicky things that would not be deal breakers in any other circumstance. So if you hear me saying I'm taking the Norden and you think that is somehow an indictment of the Tenere, it is not. If for any reason I couldn't get this Norden to work, if I couldn't get my bags to work or whatever, or I had a mechanical issue, I would not hesitate to jump on that Tenere and do the exact same trip. In fact, I'm doing the Colorado BDR in August, and I would say there's a large chance that I may take the Tenere on that trip because, like I said, they're both really good and really capable. I decided on the Norden for two pretty big reasons. And the first is it is the more comfortable bike to sit on and ride for long periods of time. The seat is wider, it has cruise control. The wind protection on both of these bikes sucks, and that's a big complaint you'll hear about the Norden, and the same is true on the Tenere in stock form. I do have the windscreen adjuster for it, so it's actually a little better in terms of wind on the highway, but the seat is wider on the Norden, and overall it just cruises on the highway better. It's slightly more comfortable. It's not to say the Tenere is uncomfortable, but the Norden is a great sort of cruising the highway bike, and I really like it in the twisties, and it's a bike that is very fast. It is faster than the Tenere. I mean, it has more horsepower and it costs more money, so it should be. And it's got all the fun traction control doodads so that you can really get into it and not worry about making a big mistake. So on the road, if the Norden is more fun to ride. And we have an 8.5-hour ride to the beginning of the Washington BDR. We're running it north to south, which means I have to ride here from my home in Oregon all the way up to the Canadian border through all of Washington, and it's about 8.5 hours. So that is a factor on this ride. That is a factor in this decision. So the cruise control and all that, making it a little bit easier on the highway, is a big reason why the Norden is the bike that I'm taking. But there's another big reason, and this one is a little bit more subjective, and again, these bikes are really close together, but at the end of the day, the Norden is more fun to ride. It is a more fun bike. It is so fast, so quick. Riding it is like easy mode, on and off the road, that traction control stuff, the lean sensitive ABS, the lean sensitive traction control. You think less and ride more. The Tenere helps me become a better rider because, you know, I think about it and it's very capable, and it helps me really hone my skills and make sure that I'm doing exactly what I'm trying to do. The Norden just makes me a better rider. The second I get on it, it helps me. It's like easy mode in a video game, riding this thing hard and fast. And so in the technical stuff, in the super technical rocky stuff, at this moment I actually kind of prefer the Tenere. I've had it on the most technical stuff, but on 90% of what we'll do, you know, it's dirt, gravel roads, with some muddy stuff, washouts, whatever, the Norden is going to be fantastic. There may be one or two places where I get into something super technical. I'm like, damn, I wish I was on the Tenere. But, and that's mostly because the standing position on the Tenere is slightly more comfortable. I haven't got the risers on the Norden yet. But the Norden of the two is a more fun bike to ride. Ride them back to back and tell me you don't agree with me. That's not to say the Tenere isn't fun, it's very fun, but the Norden is a blast. I also want to take the Norden out on something a little bit difficult while I still have it under warranty, because if any of the mechanical issues that I hear about crop up, I want it to happen early while I'm under warranty. Hopefully there's no trip enders if anything does happen. I would not want to complete the trip with a busted rear shock, for instance. The other big factor, and again it is these nitpicky little things, is tubeless. The Norden is tubeless stock, so if I get a puncture up there, it's just a patch and ride versus having to take the tire off and patch a tube or replace it. So that is a big factor as well. But for the most part, these bikes are neck and neck. They're both 9.5s in my book. And just for this trip and this application, at this moment, the Norden makes more sense to me. It's the bike that I'm going to take, that I want to take. Probably surprises some of you to hear that. It surprises me to say it. I am concerned about reliability out there on the trail, but we're going to be in a group of 5 or 6 dudes with a bunch of mechanical expertise and tools, and so I'm confident that whatever happens, if something does happen, we'll be able to get through it. On the Tenere, I would just be confident that nothing would happen. So that is in the back of my mind. It is a concern. But I know people have done plenty of BDRs on the 790s and 890s, and I don't have any reason to believe that the Norden won't make it through just as well. And when it does, you know, I'll be eating crow because I talked all that crap about KTMs over the years. It's fully crash protected. I got a few more parts that I still got to put on, but for the most part, it's ready to go. I got to get it set up to work with my big giant loop bags. That's coming today. Hopefully the racks are coming. I'm sitting here waiting. I'm filming this while I'm waiting for those racks to arrive so I can get that done because I'm cutting it kind of close. So, but that's the bike. That's the decision for now. It remains to be seen which one goes on the Colorado BDR. A lot of that will depend on how the Norden does on the Washington BDR, but that is the bike I'm taking. So are you shocked, surprised? Do you have comments, questions, concerns? Please feel free to leave them in the comments. More videos coming as I prep for this trip. I've got all this gear and I'm going to make a video kind of covering all the gear I'm taking and how I'm putting it on the bike. So that's coming soon. Keep an eye out for that. And, you know, check out the whole Choose Your Own Adventure Bike series because I should have 1,000-mile reviews of both bikes coming up very soon. But time is becoming a factor and I really wanted to make this video before I set out and go. And I want you to see it before I leave because I'm going to be posting pictures and stuff and it's going to spoil it. So I wanted you to know why. So that's why we're here. So please, I hope you enjoyed the video. Keep an eye out. There's going to be a whole series of videos on the Washington BDR route. That's going to be so fun, and I'll post those videos for you as soon as they're done. But for now, and as always, I just want to say thank you very much for watching, and please do not forget to be excellent to each other. Thank you.
Excellent!